All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. So today, I cannot believe my eyes. I was calling that he was going to keep avoiding them, but yeah, Dana White, he finally shows up to one of these post-fight press conferences, and for those of you who have not been following along very closely, basically he hasn't showed up to the last, I think, two, I believe. So everyone's wondering, like, why is he not showing up? Is he hiding from the Jon Jones questions? Is he hiding from the card qualities? Whatever. Who knows? Finally, he decides to show up, and we're going old school here. I have written on paper a few time codes. I'm watching on the Mac Life, the post-fight press conference for UFC 316, for those of you who care. And yeah, first one is 210. So the reporter asked, it's a conversation that we've had multiple times now, Jon Jones versus Aspinall. It's a bit different now because Jon has been tweeting a lot about the fact that he's told you his plans and he's ready to vacate the belt. And then Dana's like, he said he's ready to vacate the belt? What? And then the reporter's like, yeah, he doesn't care if you would strip him, he'll willingly vacate it. And Dana's like, fucking crazy. It's like, how are you not keeping tabs on one of the biggest stars the sport has right now? Contrary to popular belief, Jon Jones is one of the biggest stars, and him versus Aspinall definitely will be one of the biggest fights, if not the biggest of this year. So for him to act like he has no idea what Jon Jones has been saying is not believable. Because it's one thing if you're asking, it's like, oh yeah, this crazy prelim guy that just got signed is tweeting a bunch of shit. What do you think of that? And Dana's like, what the fuck? But it's Jon Jones, you know what I mean? Like, especially he probably has a whole wing of the PR fucking development watching his every move anyway. So like, for him to act like he doesn't know what's going on is crazy. Yeah, Dana White says, yeah, I've been busy. I haven't been keeping up with the gossip. He's either came back today or yesterday, and he was in Thailand, and Dana White says, we'll be home tonight. Tuesday, we'll figure this out. That's the thing. Like, it's always like, yeah, we'll figure this out. We'll figure this out. Like, he's told us multiple times that he's going to figure it out. Like, how many meetings has Aspinall had where he's like, yeah, the meeting, or they're going to finally tell me what's going on. They're finally, like, it's been 4 times. So, I don't know. That doesn't really do much for me personally. But, yeah, moving on to the next one, 250. So the reporter asked, if he doesn't fight Aspinall, he's also fought Ngannou. And then Dana White's like, who called out Ngannou out? And then he's like, Jon. And Dana White's like, and the reporter's like, okay. And then he says, yeah, I guess you're not interested in that then. And then he says, the reporter's like, if he doesn't fight, Tom Aspinall walks away, do you think he's ducked him? Dana White says, Tom Aspinall's the guy. And then he says, I don't know, we'll see how this whole thing plays out. Obviously, his classic favorite line. And then 310 here, it's... And then Dana White's like, if he wants to retire, then there's nothing you can do. I didn't want Khabib to retire. I thought DC would stay a little longer. And then he says, it's none of my business. I'll do what I can to make the fight if we can. But if he's talking that crazy shit, I didn't realize that. Which, as usual, hard to believe because how are you not keeping an eye on everything he says? And it's a lot different tone now talking about the whole Jon Jones situation than before. Because before, the reporters would keep pestering him, and then Dana White's like, I told you guys we're going to get the deal done. I'm 100% confident. And now you see it. Obviously, I'm not a body language expert, but like you just see him. He doesn't look as confident as he once was about the whole situation. Like I said, I could be just reading too much into it. But the level of confidence that we're going to get this fight is not great, at least from my perspective. And all right, next time code is 755. 755. Okay. So the reporter asked, to go back to the thing on Jon Jones, did you see the petition about the Jon Jones? What do you think of that? And then Dana's like, every human on Earth was DMing it to me. And he's like, yeah, I saw it. And then he says, the reporter says, oh, apparently you always say that you listen to the fans and give the fans what they want. What do you think? And then Dana, of course, like I said, he's going to ask, how many fans are out there worldwide? So we're going to do a fucking, a majority rule, I guess. And he's like, what's the number? And he says, 400 million or something like that. So, of course, because there's 400 million fans of MMA, we have to ignore the 200,000 passionate, hardcore fans. It's like, what? And then the reporter's like, well, because Dana White's mocking, it's only 130,000 want to see him strip. And then the reporter's like, oh, it's not enough. And then the fucking Dana's like, well, I'm not saying that, but it's kind of fucking silly. It's like, no, it's not silly. For a bunch of people to go out of their way, like I said, it would have to be in at least the 6 digits to even get his attention, which thankfully it did. Because I remember when I first seen the petition, I think it was around 50,000 or something like that. I was late to the party on that one, but still. That's... It's just, I knew it. Classic politician type of bullshit answers from Dana. And it's frustrating, but I guess we'll have to wait and see, because as much as he said he's going to have to go to the room on Tuesday and all that, I'm like, hasn't he been talking at least somewhat regularly every Tuesday about the whole Tom Aspinall, John Jones thing? Because you think about it, it's he has the summer set up all the way up till, I guess September. They're not having a pay-per-view anymore, but still. So he has, and then October, I think they're probably going to do the whole Makhachev, Del Madalena one, just because it's in Abu Dhabi, I'm assuming. So it's how much do you really have to discuss in the War Room, aside from these two? I guess they're still trying to add, a certain fights to the upcoming cards, especially the Dustin Poirier Max Holloway one. That one needs help. I said that in previous videos. And I guess they have a bunch of fight nights to figure out as well. But as far as the main focus and the elephant in the room and the overhanging, element / theme and all these, is I can't imagine they're not talking about Tom and John. So it's for him to say, yeah, we'll figure this out next Tuesday. It's my ass. All right, final code is 2021. All right. And this one is about, apparently Dana White thinks that, or he says that John agreed to the contract. So this is what he says. The reporter asks, in your gut, do you think the fight between Tom and John will ultimately happen? And then Dana's like, yeah, I've been saying it since the beginning. And John Jones agreed to do the fight, so John Jones was offered the deal and accepted the deal. So yeah, but that's the thing. A lot of people were reporting that the money amount that John Jones asked for Tom Aspinall, obviously this is just reporting, so it's not official, but highly reputable sources were saying that John Jones was offered, I think what was it, 30 million or whatever. He got the offer and then he declined it. So for Dana White to say it, obviously there's going to be conflicting stories and rumors, and I don't know if Dana's talking out of his ass here, but like I said, every time he's asked about this kind of whole John Jones situation, it's just, he doesn't look as confident. And a lot of people, I was reading through the comments and I was just you've seen the overhanging theme of a lot of the comments section. Obviously it's people are spamming the John Jones doc emojis and all that, but a lot of people are saying he doesn't have that passion anymore. And honestly, you can see it. And it's all good. You know what I mean? It's hard to keep passionate and that burning fire and desire for how long has it been in? They got the UFC, I think, in the 90s or whatever. So it's been damn near 30 years, if not more. So it's I don't know. It's just, it'd be weird for Dana White not to be the president anymore, but it's just if you truly don't feel the passion anymore, and that's why he's probably branching off to all these different things like power slap, bull riding, and now they just did the jiu-jitsu deal. I don't know. I would just, especially since like the UFC is the fastest growing sport around the world. And it's like the newest sport as well. If you look at like compared to all these other major sports, like they were invented in the fucking 1800s. Whereas this sport here, it's brand new, and it's just like if we don't have someone with that burning desire and just like even see it, it's like the only promotion we'll get is from the War Room, where he's just like, just literally like I could set that kind of thing up. It's like you're standing here, and then let's say the fighters and all that are written on the wall. It's like, all right, this is what's happening on Saturday night. We got Blanchfield versus Barber, and it's like, I don't know. I just feel like I would like to see someone a bit more hungrier, a bit more passionate at the reins here. And that's the thing, Dana White can still be a part of it all. It's just, as far as the UFC, if he's truly like, his mind's trying to be occupied, especially with the boxing thing, with the whole Turkey al-Sheikh and all that, I don't know. I would just, obviously they would have to spit out some ideas and replacement ideas for him. Because like I said, he can still be a part of like the suits and manage what's going on here and there. But like, as far as whoever's like the CEO of the UFC, their sole focus should be on the UFC. Not grappling, not power slap, not bowls. Like literally just one-dimensional, focus on that one thing, that's it. But what do I know? Like I said, I'm not a business major or anything like that. But yeah, no, I would just, I don't know. I'd like to see a bit more desire and a bit more passion as well. I agree with the comment sentiment. And yeah, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching.